Hello, and you're listening to FPcast, the official podcast for Fruitless Pursuits, where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I didn't need to redo that was fine.
I want to do your name bit, though.
I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we're talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Anything if we're lucky.
Well, look, I'm a little rattled, to be honest. I'm a little upset because there has been news this week that has shaken the very pop culture world.
I know, we weren't even like totally sure if we were going to do the show this week. We thought that, maybe it's better to just address it than bottle all of that up. To just release the feelings that we're feeling.
People like Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, they make all those big disaster movies about what would happen if the world, 2012 and 28 Days... What was the film about everything froze and they ran away from the frost and stuff and there were wolves?
Oh, is that the one? Was that like Elijah Wood or something?
No, I don't know. There were lots of things.
Yeah.
And they've got big imaginations for big disasters, but they couldn't even predict something of this magnitude that has picked up the earth and just shaken it like a kitten.
No one could have ever predicted this. It was unpredictable in the truest sense of the word.
Yep. I would not have seen this coming ever.
No.
Not in a million years could I have imagined such a thing. But do you want to break this? I'm going to have trouble. I don't
even know if I can say
I've got a big old lump in my throat, and I'm worried that if I say it,
all right.
I'm going to burst into tears.
I know. All right,
I'm going to have fluids coming out of every part of my body where fluids are able to emerge.
Yeah. All right. I'll take this one, guys. I hate to break the news, but Hiddleswift is over.
So, I'm still trying to come to terms with this. At first I thought, I checked the calendar.
It's not April Fool's Day.
I was like, is it April?
Yeah.
Got to be April. Got to be April Fool's. And it's not. It's not April Fool's at all. So Tom Hiddleston, Taylor Swift, they've split up.
I don't know what to believe in anymore. If they can't make it work, how are any of us supposed to?
Because I was led to believe, and I don't know if this is me being naive, this is me being just a hopeless romantic, sort of growing up on all these Disney classic love stories and things, but I saw two people who were very, very much in love.
Yeah, and we saw them being in love a lot because they were doing that in front of a lot of cameras and stuff.
Well, you couldn't contain it.
No, it was just spilling out everywhere.
It was just all over the place. And I thought they were going to get married. I said to you, when I watched, and I didn't even know when High Rise was filmed. It might have even been before that, but every close-up I kept thinking, that's a man that loves Taylor Swift.
He hearts Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's really good that you bring that up because, as we know, he was photographed wearing a T-shirt that said, I heart TS. And, those things, you can't walk into a Walmart and buy that. That's custom made.
It is.
You have to be pretty serious about people. People talk about, look at this ring I got or whatever. There are jewelry stores all over the place. You can buy a ring and you just pick one you like the look of. But no, you have to get something custom printed. You might have to go online. You might have to upload a graphic.
Artwork,
so you
might have to go to one of those small stalls in the middle of a shopping centre and speak to somebody about it.
Yeah, I had to load up Photoshop, do all that sort of stuff. I know how to use Photoshop. I'm self-taught, but I'm not, I haven't been acting for however many years as Hiddleston. He's off being Loki and stuff like that. Where's he got time to sit there and learn about all those things?
He might have had his assistant do it.
Layers, fonts. Anyway, it's a conversation. It's some effort. So I worry about that. I think, you get the T-shirt printed.
He's invested so much already by doing the T-shirt.
He's got the T-shirt. So suddenly, oh no, they're not in love anymore. Does he still love her, but he can't be with her? I think in order to really capitalise on his investment and not make this a complete and utter embarrassing waste of time, he is going to have to, as quickly as possible, get in a relationship with somebody else with the initials TS.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking, what's Tori Spelling doing?
Is she still alive?
I think so.
Okay.
I think she's alive.
Fine. Well, she fits the criteria.
Well, what better way? Like, she's a celebrity.
Yes.
She's blonde.
She'll definitely get him in the papers.
Yep. And why not do her a solid and get some publicity for her? Like, if you're so good at, you know, a byproduct of your true love is this sort of celebrity paparazzi interest, then why not? Why not give Tori Spelling a little bit of a boost?
Yeah, you know, she could, with that extra publicity boost, she could get a role in, like, Sharknado 6.
Why doesn't she join one of the Marvel movies? She could play the Mole Man.
Yeah.
Yeah? Why not? Look, it's a villain role.
Yeah.
He's a villain in the Marvel Universe. She could be the Mole Man. Why can't you gender swap Mole Man?
She could just be like a female Chitauri that was lost in the original Battle of New York and comes and joins the team.
Gender swap the Mole Man and just call her the Mole. Fine.
Perfect.
Why not?
Yeah.
With all the little moloids running around. Jason Priestley. You know, there's roles for everybody. So I saw Jason Priestley in a movie.
Oh, did you?
It was that Zoom movie I was telling you about. He's got a brief role.
The what movie?
The movie called Zoom. So this is Zoom.
I thought you said Zoom.
Yeah, there's a movie called Zoom, which is like a, you know, director, Amazon-y kind of movie. And it's about a comic book artist who's writing a comic about film director. And the film director is making a film about a model. And the model in the film is writing a novel about the comic book artist who is... So they're all connected.
The snake is eating its own tail.
They're all fictional characters in each other's worlds. And there's a little bit of a duck amuck. You know what I'm talking about when I say duck amuck? Quality to it?
Yes, the one where Daffy Duck is... No.
Yes,
Daffy Duck is addressing his cartoonist.
He battles with the pencil and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like that. And what I loved about it is, I've got to bring this up, Alison Pill is in it. Alison Pill, who was Kim Pine in Scott Pilgrim and other things. I think she's lovely. And I've grown to appreciate... I really loved her in Snowpiercer when she was the teacher. I remember thinking, who's that? Just like, you know, when the Joker saw Vicky Vale for the first time and he's like, who is that? And then they're like, Vicky Vale, I like Batman. Well, that's in the song, but it's all clips from the movie. It just puts them all together so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you're in a hurry. But she's like got Ghost World hair. She's got like sort of, it's blonde hair, but it's like a bob and it's purple on the bottom half. And she's got big black Ghost World glasses. She gets fake boobs put in and they've got her wearing these really realistic, big, prosthetic, round boobs. And she's topless like in a scene. And she's got the glasses, the hair, and these giant boobs. And I had like this weird reaction to it. I was just like, wow. Like, you know, you talk about types and stuff, but there's just something about Alison Pill right then that was just the most appealing thing I've ever seen. I was just like, wow, the rest of the movie could be absolute shit, but I will remember this film because she just just looks amazing. So,
I'll take your word for that.
But Jason Priestley was in it. He flew a helicopter. But yeah, Hiddleswift.
Oh my god, just
gone. Was there a reason that they broke it off?
Oh, look, there are many a reason coming out.
Conspiracy theories.
Oh, you know, some people are saying that she broke it off. Some people are saying that
she broke it off.
She broke it off.
Like, you actually broke it off.
Yeah, broke it off.
Is he getting that fixed? Reattached? Getting a new one?
I don't know. The gossip rags haven't speculated on that. No, I think if we're looking at her ending this relationship, the story was that she thought that perhaps he was in it for the wrong reasons.
Oh.
And was perhaps, because he'd asked her to some awards ceremony and she was a bit like, well, no, you know, I've got other things to do or whatever. And he's like, oh no, I kind of really need you to be seen with me. And she's like, this is ringing some alarm bells. Or the other side of things, with the suggestion that he finished it, is that he was a bit sick of all the circus and how everyone was laughing at them, which I'm inclined to believe that one.
I don't know, but true love should trump that, shouldn't it?
It should. It's such a shame.
Like, you don't care what the rest of the world thinks if you're in love. Tom Cruise, he jumped on a couch.
He sure did.
He was so much in love. He didn't care that everyone thought he was more of a nut.
Yeah, he was so much in love for about, 6 or 7 years?
Well, that's how many times longer is that than the Hiddleswift? That's what gets me.
I don't even know if they made their 3-month anniversary.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
I had, like, longer relationships than that when I was, like, 18.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've got longer relationships than that with, like, food in my cupboard.
Food in my body. It's just crazy. Just absolutely crazy. So...
I can't believe it. I won't believe it. Until he comes to my house and tells me that it's true, I won't believe it.
I want to hear the album. I think there'll be an album, about it, and then maybe we can...
like quite a polite album.
I think we're going to be piecing things together for a while, you know, picking up the wreckage. It's sort of a butterfly effect. It's just sent ripples through the world, and I think a lot of people have really shaken up. So, I didn't really want to do the podcast today because I've been, I haven't slept a lot because it's just making me question a lot of other things
really,
that I've taken for granted. And you just sort of think, oh, well, if that can happen, you know, it's like the other day I started to go to work. I was walking out and I just grabbed onto the letterbox and I just gripped it and I just couldn't let go. And it was because I was like, if I can't believe in their love, like, how can I believe in gravity? And I was just worried I was going to float off into the sky. So I just had to hold this thing. And I ended up getting like a warning. Strike against me. But I didn't float off into the sky at least, which is good. So, you know, everything else is going to pale by comparison, but we are going to do our best to soldier on. We're going to talk about Pete's Dragon is the big review for today, our feature review. I've also been watching a whole heap of other films while I draw my comic, and I'm just going to do some little capsule reviews over the next few weeks about some of those, just sort of more in mind of alerting people to things that I think are interesting and sort of trying to give you an indication of whether or not it's something you know, you might enjoy. So I'll do that as well. I'm going to talk about some trailers and all that wonderful stuff. So the only other bit of news that I saw that I thought was interesting, and this is funny actually, we reported on the Deathstroke reveal for Justice League. You know, there he was in his outfit and we were like, shoot, it's Deathstroke, he looks great, this is cool. We didn't once speculate on who was playing him. No,
I just assumed it was just some random meathead.
I thought it was the actual guy, like Deathstroke was an actual
he just
dude.
Turned up.
I thought, that's Deathstroke, that's great. But of course, he doesn't wear his mask all the time.
No.
Like he's in
well, he might. You never know.
I don't think he should. But, you know, he's like an assassin dude. He takes it off to shower and go to bed, brush his teeth, and eat a hamburger, all that sort of stuff. So, we didn't even think. We didn't speculate. Like, oh, who is that under there? Could have been Danny DeVito. We didn't know. We didn't ask the question. Turns out it is... You can't
pronounce his name, can you?
Joe Manganiello.
Good.
There we go. Yeah. And look, I know you love this guy from Magic Mike. I still haven't seen those. But I still remember Pee-wee's Big...
Yes.
Whatever it was.
Yes.
And I think it's just a fantastic choice. Like, from my limited knowledge of the comic character, which is probably not that limited compared to the average person on the street, I think that's really cool. I think that's great casting. I think, way to go, DC. Brilliant.
Yeah, and he's, like, as someone to cast, like, it does get a bit of interest because he is a very kind of, I guess, I don't know, accessible sort of casting. Like, everyone enjoys him, and if, you know, the boyfriends are trying to drag the girlfriends, if we're looking at the society in that sort of way to the movies, then, yeah, Joe Manganiello.
And the motherfucker can dance.
Oh, he can. Yeah,
as well. So... Yeah. You know, you don't know
when... He can
when...
bump and grind.
Yeah, when that's going to be handy. Yeah. Maybe, you know, because it's 2016. So why not? Like, do you remember in Batman Returns when Batman's scuffling with Catwoman? And, vaguely. You know, they end up lying on top of each other and she's like... She touches his crotch or something and, like, maybe licks it with a sandpapery tongue, something like that. I don't really remember, but... why not have that sort of tension? Because they're saying that he could be the main antagonist in the Ben Affleck written, directed Batman movie. So, you know, like, Affleck might be just... He probably watched the Pee-wee movie and just saw them being just such great birthday buds and was like, if I'm going to spend a year of my life with some cat. But I don't mean cat like Catwoman. I mean cat like Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
Then why not Joe? Because he's a man's man, and we'll have a great time.
Yeah. Or he saw Joe's sort of final scene in Magic Mike and just went, "This man is an animal. I need to harness this for my own uses."
And it's same thing. What if Joe was watching Batman v Superman and he saw him lugging around those big tires, doing all that sort of stuff?
He's like, I can do
He's like, this is a man that we've got some things to talk about. Absolutely.
Yeah, I did see someone's commentary during the week that if they're fighting, it's going to be like two buildings crashing into each other. And I was like, yeah.
So look out for that. I'm just relieved it wasn't Tori Spelling under the mask. Can you imagine?
the chest plate would have had to be a little bit bigger.
That's true. So let's talk about some trailers. Free Fire is the main one. Now, this is a new film by Ben Wheatley. And look, God, what a productive fellow he is, because we only just saw High Rise. So,
though, to be fair, High Rise has been out for a long time.
No, I think he made this. I think he made this new film.
Like in the last couple of weeks.
Last couple of weeks. Yeah. What else are you going to do?
Well, exactly.
You make High Rise, you go home and you go, well, that was that.
Tick that off.
Okay, right.
Back to work tomorrow.
Steady cook. And then you're like, no, let's make another film. It's got Brie Larson in it. It's got some other dudes in it. It's got Armie Hammer.
Yes, it sure does.
And some other people as well.
You kind of don't see a lot of
it's got
faces.
Sharlto.
It does have Sharlto.
Sharlto Copley.
His little chappy voice. What a champion.
Little South African lad. And it apparently is one big gunfight. The whole film is like a big Tarantino-esque standoff in a warehouse.
Okay, so it's kind of a little bit like Hateful Eight, but maybe with more gunfighting.
Yeah. So all in the one place. It's a big gunfight. I saw people being a bit cynical about that on talkbacks and stuff. But, I mean, like America, that should be exactly what you want out of a movie. It seems like the logical progression. This idea everybody's got a gun and everybody's shooting. And we've learned from a lot of real-life experience that if everyone had a gun, situations...
So safe,
it would be... everyone would be safe.
It would be just the most safe that anyone could be.
Because you're really like in a dark movie theatre or something, somebody starts shooting. You think, okay, that's dangerous as it is. But what if, let's say there's 300 people with guns in the cinema. What if everyone was shooting? Then I would feel safer. So I think this sort of shows that in a way, people get zinged and stuff in the shoulder. Are you going to be a pussy about that? Or a flesh wound in the leg or whatever? What price for freedom is what I say. We've got a little bit of limp. It hurts when it's cold. Yeah, you've got your freedom. So
I mean, I never complain about my shrapnel wounds.
No,
ever.
Absolutely not. No, because that's what makes the country great. Don't take my word for it. It's in the Constitution, and if that means nothing to you, well,
you can just take a knee during the national anthem at football games.
If you don't like it, go to Iraq. In my opinion. See how you get along there. Yeah, they're not happy. Anyway, Free Fire. Look, after High Rise, sure, in fact, I should go back and watch some other Ben Wheatley stuff because I thought he was a really interesting director. I was really curious about it all.
I get the idea of it just being one long gunfight doesn't make me think, oh, it's just one long gunfight. It makes me think, well, what creative ways are they going to deal with this to keep my interest for the whole 2 hours or whatever? So I'm psyched for it.
It's an experiment. I like experiments. I like ones that explode or have coloured smoke.
All those ones where they put like the Hellmouth ones where they put like the stuff in the metal stuff and then like the tentacle things come out of it. You seen those videos?
That sounds like what I want the Doctor Strange trailer to be.
It's a bit like that,
I don't know that.
Oh, wow, okay.
I like experiments like where they use coke
Okay, so that way you put like the Mentos in the Coke bottle and explode.
Is that an experiment, or is that just like a laugh?
Well, I guess it started off as an experiment.
So
what would happen if?
Yeah. So you can learn stuff from it while you're doing it.
Oh, absolutely.
You
can always learn from everything you do in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know, including listening to this show, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't learned 4 things already during this show, then we have failed you.
You know, I was going to say, this is like film school, pop culture school. No, it's life school and life skills. Really.
Life skill school.
Life skill school is what it should be called instead of FPcast. 'Cause what does that mean, FPcast?
Nothing.
No, that's just stupid. That's like...
We started off with the worst branding and we just stuck with that shit.
Yeah, that like is the absolute worst traction you could ever have. Like, I've been watching Sharknet Australia, and only because Shark Tank.
Sharknet is just like what happens at the beaches every summer.
No, Sharknet is that drama series about the Perth killer. That was written by it was based on a book written by Robert Drew.
Okay.
Yeah, and they made a series called Sharknet, which I've never actually seen, but I know the book. But I've got a lot of friends who are in that TV series because the director came and saw a play I was doing, a musical, and cast half of the actors in the next week. Yeah. Anyway, so I've been watching Shark Tank Australia. This is a version, but I think this is good. And if we went in and said, okay, we've got a podcast, it's a pop culture podcast called FPcast, you're going to get slapped in the face.
Yep.
It's the wrong thing to do. But I'm watching the Australian one because I've kind of caught up on the American one, and the Australian one is so, like, toothless by comparison. Like, they're not ruthless at all. Like, they're generally pretty nice to the people. Like, the most I've seen them take is maybe 30%, and that's, like, with 2 or 3 of them getting involved and offering big things, whereas the American one routinely, like, just take 51%, just like it's mine.
Yeah.
And just ruthless. And there's that guy that's always like, oh, g'day, mate. How you going? Where are you from? Oh, South Australia. Oh, another South Australian. All right. What have you got here, mate? Oh, fashion box. Don't suppose you got a fishing box instead, and it's like that.
So there's the guy that's built the Green Cross Vets empire.
I don't know. He's got glasses.
He's the tech guy. Yeah,
the tech guy. Yeah.
I like the vet guy because he's just like, well, this isn't anything that I know shit about. Boop, I'm out.
Yeah. Shark Tank. Is that what we were reviewing? Is that what... No, we're not talking about that, are we?
No. I've seen about 4 episodes of Shark Tank in my life, so no, we're not talking about that. Okay,
I did enjoy it though. There was the trailer for... Oh, we were when we saw Pete's Dragon today.
Yes.
Pete's Dragon. We saw a trailer for Moana, which is the new animated Disney film coming out Boxing Day or something here. We've talked about it before. This is one with The Rock.
Yep.
Playing the mythological dude with the big
Maui
jawbone. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And
with music by Lin-Manuel Miranda of Hamilton.
I would not, I've said this many times, I would not bet against Disney at this point. They're doing stellar work, but that trailer is the most erratically cut together piece of nonsense.
I hadn't seen that trailer before. That was a crazy fucking trailer. It made no sense.
No, it's just smirking and one-liners and like slapstick and no semblance of a story. It's just nothing. Just all these weird clips of stuff and music and just like you could sort of come out of it and go, well, I've got an idea of the setting. But
I don't know what this film is about at all.
Yeah, what he keeps throwing her off the boat, and then you're like, So I thought that was a really big misfire. That's something I wanted to mention as well. This is not a neat segue. But I want to do, because when we talked about trailers last time, I want to do Correction Corner. Okay. We're not always going to do Correction Corner because, like, this just stuff's off the cuff on the weekend. And, we
don't think hard about anything. No, let's just put that out there.
I'd rather go for the joke than teach you something. So, but...
we said this is life skills school.
Oh, that's true. But there are times when you just go, oh, yeah, that's a pretty egregious fuck up, and I should mention it.
The Dev Patel thing?
Yeah, and that's not the first time I've said Dev Patel was in Life of Pi either. I'm sure I don't know what episode or whatever, But the name Dev Patel is just such a fucking great name. It just sticks with me. So I kind of want him to be in Life of Pi, but I've done that before, and it's not. It's another guy who hasn't been in as much stuff. And I really love Life is Pi. I think it's a great film. And I loved that guy, the real guy, who wasn't Dev Patel's performance. So I apologise for mixing those up. That's completely on me. And the other thing, and this was more sort of off the cuff, because this is something I know, but I said it. I must have said that they were speaking Indian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't speak Indian.
No.
They're in India.
There's about 400,000 languages.
Yeah. And I know, I've got quite a close, this isn't like me saying, but I've got black friends. But, but I have a pretty good conduit to Indian culture quite close to me. And I do know that. But I was kind of wanting to make my joke about the big subtitles and stuff. And I mess it up. And I also think that's worth correcting and mentioning because I'm always picking on America and saying that they're culturally ignorant. It was an American that was way smarter than me about all of this stuff and pointed out what was wrong. So it just goes to show that everything they're saying is pretty much nonsense.
Yeah. And Courtney did call us racist, and that's true. We are.
Yes. Yeah.
So thanks to Courtney for calling us out.
Yes.
And thank you to Sarah for coming for our defence. I think she
Yeah.
thought that Courtney was being serious.
Got very heated. And well, it hit home for me because I just shaved my head. So people were the theatre of the mind. You suddenly go, oh, now everything's changed. I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, I didn't shave my head. Not my top head. No, I didn't do that either. Not that you would have bald. Yeah. No.
Why would you have hair there?
Well, you wouldn't.
No, you would hope not.
No.
And if you did, you'd probably need to see the doctor.
Yeah, can you imagine? Just, crazy.
Like, doctor, I need to have something to show you, and he just falls against the back wall, going, what the fuck?
Is that? Like, yeah.
Put your pet away. It's not my pet.
What is this thing? It's like that Trolls movie. So
it comes out. He's talking with the voice of Justin Timberlake.
Yes, doing his boo boo from Yogi Bear.
Oh God, how did we get here?
I don't think the Ranger's gonna like this, Yogi. We saw the trailer for Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, BBC doing a TV series.
BBC
America doing a series with Elijah Wood playing the Offsider. And some dude playing Dirk Gently. Who's that dude?
Don't know. English dude, kind of a youngish dude. I have read the Dirk Gently books. I read them in actually really early high school. Douglas Adams, two books. There's Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency and The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul. It's still off the top of my head, so I'm getting it wrong. Fuck you, but I think I got that right. And they're kind of weird books, quite obtuse. Lots of really far out concepts in there, like an electric monk that believes the world is pink, I think was one of the characters in there. And I always pictured him as a kind of Matt Berry kind of character. Okay. Not that I knew who Matt Berry was at that time, but when I look at Matt Berry in something like Toast of London, I think, okay, Dirk Gently's probably this pompousy kind of, dude. But instead we get a very erratic Doctor Who performance. Yeah, like a weedy sort of Matt Smithy kind of thing.
Yeah, with a very affected physical performance and that yellow jacket, which is such a...
Doctor costume.
We want people to go to cons going, look, I'm Dirk Gently in my yellow jacket and I'm being all affected. So, yeah, I think Tennant and Smith have got a lot to answer for this erratic British dude, because that's what Eddie Redmayne's doing as well in Fantastic Breasts and How to Fondle Them. Sorry, I'm just thinking about
Alison Pill.
Alison Pill again. Yeah, they weren't even real. But my God,
they were real to you.
Real enough.
Real enough.
It was real enough. Yeah. My imagination could fill in there. Because look, it's all smoke and mirrors.
Absolutely.
Hollywood.
Yep. In
the long run. Yeah. So, I don't know about that. I'll be curious to see how that all sort of pans out. And was it like Max Landis is involved?
I have no idea.
I think Ian said Max Landis. We like Max Landis, right? No, I don't.
No, not really, no.
He was the one that did that big rant about how Ray was a shitty character on YouTube, and he was being all affected. And I was like, no, fuck you, pal.
And he was like, he's the American Ultra guy, isn't he? Is that him?
Yeah, I think so. And he did the screenplay for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So, yeah.
Yeah.
He's nothing special.
No.
Nah. Just talks big. Talks a big game. It's all mouth and no trousers, mate. Old fucking mouth and no trousers, isn't ya? With that bit of swearing, I'd like to segue into Disney's family adventure film, Pete's Dragon. What did you think of this?
I really liked it, actually. I think I really was just in the mood for a really fucking nice movie. You know?
It's the purest form of family adventure kind of filmmaking, isn't it? A lot of heart.
It's heart without being too sappy.
Really
and
well
it's sort
crafted.
Of cliched without being too cheesy.
You kind of know where it's all heading, but at the same time you
want it to go. You want to go with it. Yeah.
Journey. Very well made. It's a remake, I guess, of the original Pete's Dragon.
With little Pete and Elliot the dragon.
Yep. So who can turn invisible and stuff, same as the original. But Pete has been... Because Disney, no spoilers, but we know this from the trailers, everything. Disney are the orphan makers. They will kill a character's parents as quickly as they can. So he ends up as a small boy in the woods. He's there for 6 years, surviving, and through his friendship with the dragon, he's turned into a feral little room boy. Except the whole wilderness is his room.
Yeah.
And then he sort of gets discovered, and then people want to go and hunt the dragon, and, it's all the sorts of stuff you would expect.
I actually liked, at the start, it was quite obvious they were going to have to kill off these parents. And I'm like, how are they going to do this so it's not like brutally traumatic for this cinema full of children? I actually really liked the way they did it.
It was very stylish, and then I think the sequences that follow with some of the exposition and stuff, just really stylishly done. It was really slick film. It comes together very well. It's Bryce Dallas Howard, Carl Urban, Wes Bentley. If you listen to that last episode, A Book Was Better, the Serenity one, Lizzie says that Wes Bentley looks evil, and I said, no, that's just because he was the game maker and he was acting evil. He does look evil.
He does. It's his face, sadly.
When I saw him in this, I was like, oh, here's the villain. No, he wasn't the villain.
No, he was the good guy.
He was a good
Carl
guy.
Urban was the bad guy.
Yeah. I'm like, did they switch roles by mistake? Did they pick up each other's script?
Because I thought, like, in the trailer that Carl Urban was like the dad guy. And then he wasn't the dad guy. I was very confused.
I was confused when they came in and they were like, I was like, oh, he's the bad... No, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Carl Urban's the douche. Yeah, for me, it's such a well-made film, and it achieves what it wants to do very, very well. I think it's not the sort of thing I recommend in the way that you go, this Friday night, guys, go out to see Pete's Dragon, because I just don't think it's that sort of film. It reminded me very much of my memories of those classic Disney live-action films, and like the original Pete's Dragon, that I probably would have seen on TV on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening while making Lego in the living room, something like that. And it felt like that kind of film, that sort of just comforting, warm blanket of a film.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think... if you got kids, this is really my recommendation. That's probably more to the point. It's not like a big event date movie kind of thing, but it's, just a very pure, comforting family film that hits all the right notes and is not obnoxious either, which so many films aimed at kids are horribly obnoxious, and this benefits as well from being quite timeless. It's set, I would think, in the 70s or...
So, maybe late 70s, early 80s.
Early 80s.
It's sort of a rural setting that it could be the 80s, but in this sort of town, it's still hanging on to the 70s a little bit.
And they don't draw attention to it, but there's...
It's just, the whole feel is just a very rustic...
Quaint
feel, yeah.
Yeah, there's a kid in a, retro BMX t-shirt early on, and they're using rotary dial phones and
nobody has mobile
like
phones
that.
And
which is kind of good. And I wondered if that was out of respect to the original, or if it was really that you can only tell a story like that about kids and not be obnoxious by going sort of pre-technology.
Yeah, and I guess the story was served a lot by people not necessarily being able to be in very quick contact with each other.
Well, we're getting to a point where if you're taking regular people, it's almost impossible to tell a story that reflects real life without them being on their phones, like whenever they have an opportunity, because that is the reality. Like, everybody you see is on their phones all the time. And that's going to, like, be a huge problem for storytellers, to just be like, well, you know, this kid's going to be on his phone in the back of the car. He's not going to be reading a book.
Yep.
So I wonder if we'll see more of that sort of shifting back to that time before, in order to not make it something that is full of those references and becomes really on the nose. So I enjoyed it. Probably 4 stars for me. It was pretty I don't know, again, just I was in the mood for this sort of movie. It was pretty feelsy. Like, even that first, and this was about 5 minutes into the movie, so I knew that I was in for a rough ride, when Elliot sort of picks up Pete for the first time and sort of flies up into the air, and I was having to do some kind of deep breaths just to kind of keep my shit down, and I was just like, oh, this isn't going to go well. I get I get very feelsy in films. I don't mean like I've got wandering hands or anything. I mean I'm susceptible to the emotions in films, and I do often go on that journey. And I did a little bit, but I didn't fully sort of submit to this one. It's not one of my favourite films of the year. It wouldn't be in my top 10. I prefer Jungle Book. But I think it's almost like a great companion piece to Jungle Book, because it's almost like that second half that we didn't get, that idea, you know, if it
what
was...
happens afterwards.
Yeah, if it was Baloo instead of Elliot. That idea of coming back after the adventure.
Yeah, and there was some... I mean, those two kids, such wonderfully confident performances, and I did really love that almost Room-esque element of him coming out and rediscovering all these things, because it wasn't like he was, you know, born in the woods or anything. He had some memory of that sort of thing, and that I enjoyed that.
Did, but I thought it was overplayed.
It didn't go for very long.
No, but just like he sees a red balloon and he cautiously bats at it, and it so this is a little boy we're talking about, and it bounces back towards him, and he like freaks and sort of rushes away from it. And I thought, we see in our lives new things all the time. I mean, we don't see suddenly new animals and stuff like that, but, you know, when was the first time you saw a piñata? Did you go, oh, shit, a donkey? Like, you didn't. Like, you weren't afraid of it. You see things and you go, oh, yeah.
To be fair, the situation that he was in, he may have been somewhat hyper-stimulated with all the other things that were going on.
Yeah. I just think, you know, like, we see crazy things all the time and we actually take them in. Not that makes for a better movie.
And we don't have, like, you know, crazy post-traumatic stress disorder after spending 6 years in the wilderness as a small child.
No, but I watched the short version of him doing that, so I feel like I understand it to a point. Yeah. I like Bryce Dallas Howard too.
Yeah, I like her too. I spent most of the movie going, is that Bryce Dallas Howard? I think it is, I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm a fan. I liked her back when she was Gwen Stacy. That was good too. I like Gwen Stacy. Why not? So, my only thing about it is, and I don't think it's really a criticism, it's just more of a sort of set your expectations, is that as a film, it's got a pretty limited set of toys to play with. You know, it's got one setting, a handful of characters, and a dragon. And what it does with those things is really great, but it just is never going to be one of my favourites because it doesn't have that scope beyond that. Like, it kind of plays out how you would expect it to, because you know there's no new pieces going to be introduced. And there shouldn't be. It would ruin the story to bring in more things. So it kind of reminded me in a way of, and I don't know if I prefer it to this movie, but like The Iron Giant, something which is, you know, just commits to its setting, its time period, and tells you a story and doesn't get... Because Iron Giant at the time, I'm talking about the animated movie, was so wonderful because compared to all the DreamWorks crap that was coming out at that time, where every character was shaking their booty and dancing around, it was like... all that shit's going to be dated and forgotten, whereas Iron Giant's telling this story that is absolutely timeless. It's like, you know, reading a good book. It's something that's just there. It's a capsule. There's no music that's out of place or anything like that. And it's going to work just as well in 50 years as it does now, whereas you're not going to want to watch the CGI giraffe do whatever dance he's doing, you know what I mean? So, I kind of appreciated it on that level as well. Like, I think it had a lot of integrity. So, yeah, Pete's Dragon, there you are. I would just briefly mention a couple of other films that I saw while drawing. I'm still drawing a lot. I'm on page 21. I'm going to finish page 21 today.
Okay.
And why I think that's significant, just to blow my own comics horn for a moment, is I think like your average monthly, Marvel comics about 21 pages. And I've done that in a month. So, and that's while working full time at a real job as well. I've done 21 pages of completed art. And those Marvel fuckers, they've got someone doing the pencils, another dude's like, I'm doing the ink. Someone else is coming, probably a team coming in and colouring the fucker. I'm doing it all myself while I've got a job. Move over, Jack Kirby. Here's your new King of Comics. Right here, you're listening to him. So that's exciting. Page 21, I think chapter 2 will finish on page 24, coincidentally another 12 pages along. So once that's done, which should be during the week, I will share that on Facebook again and put it in our Facebook page if anyone wants to see chapter 2, which I'm quite pleased with. It's a flashback chapter. So films that I saw were Neon Demon. This is the Elle Fanning film, directed by... what's his name? Nicholas Winding guy that did Drive.
Okay.
And Only God Forgives.
Yep, okay.
So he's an interesting director. Do you know anything about it?
Not really.
You've seen all the like crazy visuals and stuff. It's a beautiful film. It's all sort of like, I think it's all metaphor.
Okay.
Like, she's a model who is just gorgeous and everybody loves her, and this group of women, including like Abby Lee, are sort of jealous of her and the attention that she gets in this really shallow, looks-obsessed sort of modelling Hollywoody world. And they kind of want a piece of her, and there's a lot of tension and stuff, and like Keanu Reeves is in it as a kind of weird rapey neighbour, and...
Okay.
But it's not a conventional story at all. It's told through images and sort of disjointed scenes and fantasy sequences and crazy visuals and...
a little bit high-risey?
Yeah, probably even less accessible.
Okay.
And it gets really messed up. Jenna Malone's in it too. Really confronting, and then you think, are those confronting things the kind of metaphors? Like, did they really happen? Or... So, in a way, it reminded me of Under the Skin. Okay. Just in that sense that you've got a film which sometimes you're going, am I enjoying this? Like, what's going on? Like, why am I, a hard-to-recommend film? But then you start to think about the images, and it just lasts. Like, it sort of haunts you afterwards, and you think about, like, you keep churning it over. And I think it's a very easy film to be conflicted as you watch it. Like, do I like this? Is this a whole lot of, like, pretentious wank? Or, what's the purpose? Like, you really have to want to go on the journey, which I recommend once you start, you may as well go through because you want to see how it all sort of pans out. Look, it's a total fucking niche. It's a deep cut in terms of recommending it to people. But I kind of wish there was someone who I know who had seen it so that I could talk to them about it with spoilers because it's so crazy. So yeah, I keep changing my route, like stars, because like first I was like, I don't like that at all, and then I was like, I want to watch that bit again because I'm trying to get my head around what happened, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I'd read up on it, and I was like that with Under the Skin. I watched it the first time and thought, I don't know what I just watched, and then because I did the podcast about it, I think by the time I'd seen, and I watched it with Courtney as well, after I'd seen it 3 times, it was so clear to me how everything connected, and I was like, oh, this is a really smart film, but I didn't know what the fuck I was watching the first time. So, yeah, Neon Demon, your mileage will definitely vary, but if anybody has seen it or is brave enough to give it a try, I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know on the page. And the other one I'll mention today, and I've got choices, but is Bloodfather. This is that Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
who's sort of a ex-alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic, who was a biker and had been in lots of trouble.
I think we saw, was there a trailer for this before High Rise? Yeah.
And he's trying to, go straight and narrow, but his estranged daughter, has gotten into some trouble with some pretty full-on Mexican-y drug guys. And they go on the run. And I didn't expect much from this, but I was really blown away. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'd heard some good things about it. I do have it on my watch list to catch up on at some point.
It's very well written. Like, the dialogue's fantastic and really sort of flowy. And I also think the story, is quite, has a lot of momentum. It's never boring, and it keeps sort of going and keeps finding new ways to sort of interest you. And I know Mel Gibson is, a shitbag, and certainly has been a shitbag. But, I loved him in it. He was so good. He had such a presence. And there's a very meta speech he does, a monologue at the beginning at an AA meeting, just basically acknowledging that he has done a lot of shitty things, that he's done it all when he was drunk, and that he's a horrible person when he's drunk, so he's not going to drink anymore. And talks about all the bridges he's burnt and how he's lost all his friends and everything, but basically, and that he's done his time, but basically saying, I can't sit there counting off each day like I'm still, in jail or whatever. I've got to continue. I've got to keep doing things. I've got to find a way. So, I know, there are lots of complex issues there in terms of addiction and horrible behaviour and can people change, etc. But I just wish, and as I'm sure he does, that none of that had happened, and that his career's been coloured like that, through his own actions, of course, but he's just so good, and to see how he's evolved, because, I think we watched things like Thunderdome and stuff, book was better, and, he's fine, but this was something really special, and I think, I'd like to really see him have the opportunity, so...
I think he's, I can't remember the name of it, but he's got a new one out that he's directing as well as Andrew Garfield in the lead role. Was it like Red Ridge or something like that? That's getting a lot of really good reviews out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm keen on.
So again,
and apparently he's making a fucking sequel to the Passion of the Christ thing as well.
Yeah, right. Jesus too.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo. So yeah, again, if you saw Bloodfather, I would love to hear what you think, but I was really pleasantly surprised by it. That sort of movie that you would just get out on DVD or watch on Netflix or something and go, oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah, so... A
bit like one of those kind of surprise ones like Bone Tomahawk kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Where you just go, yeah, this was, quite a cool, rollicking, film that... Just really nice characters, just really nicely done. William H. Macy is his sponsor, and he was really cool too. Cool. So, yeah, quite like that. Now, to wrap up, we're going to talk about a couple of upcoming TV series trailers that we saw, and there's two things that sort of make these significant. Following actors that we've been interested in the past and seeing what their new work is. So the first being Michelle Dockery.
Lady Mary.
Lady Mary of Downton is in a new series coming out called Good Behaviour.
Yeah, I messaged you about the trailer because she'd shared it on her Instagram, and then you pulled up this one, which is completely different to the one that I saw, and looks like a completely fucking different show than the one that I watched, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
I have no idea what it's about.
It looks like she was a bad girl or some kind of spy or some sort of covert operator wearing lots of disguises and wigs and all sorts of things. And then I don't know. And then she realizes that her life is bad and that she drinks too much and sleeps with too many people and maybe takes too many drugs or whatever, and then decides to not do that anymore.
Okay.
Is that kind of what
I think maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But the trailer doesn't... the trailer's mostly the bad stuff.
Yeah.
It's her smoking and drinking and wearing a wig and
having sex with some dude,
like getting fingered in an elevator, going down women's underwear, and like getting done from behind and wearing a bra again, and like having all things smoking, all things that Carson the butler would.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine? He'd be like, "Lady Mary, more." He'd be shocked.
And then, like, she gets out of bed and she goes, "What have I done?" And then she calls Cora to come and... Cora and Sybil have to clean up her messes.
One of those crazy things, though, like, I'm worried. I don't want it to ruin Lady Mary for me. I don't want it to ruin Michelle
I don't like her
Dockery
with an American accent.
No, I don't either.
No.
There's something completely removes so much of what I like about her.
She's not snippy.
No.
She's
and
not
like,
snippy enough.
Lady Mary is so classy, but, like... cold and she's just so flamboyant with her costumes and stuff, and she's got this wonderful crisp British accent, and seeing her as an American and drinking and smoking and guns and stacks of money and stuff, it's just like ugh. And you just context as well, like brunette Mary with the flapper hair is just fantastic. And then when you see Michelle Dockery's face with this, like, horrible blonde wig, speaking in a pretend southern accent, it's just like, oh, no, I would never look twice at this woman. So it's like, don't spoil her for me.
Yeah. And
then the same thing kind of happening, not looks-wise, because Hayley Atwell looks fucking amazing regardless, but Conviction is Hayley Atwell's new series.
Which is sort of the same thing, like...
She's being an obnoxious American.
Being what would like a bad girl has to like kind of turn her life around, and another English lady being an American. Yeah,
and it's like, no, she's so wonderful. Why do you want her to be this like brash, nasal, loud?
It's like she'd left. Well, I mean, obviously Agent Carter was a bit of a sinking ship at that point, but like you left it for this. I know it's an ABC show, so it's a nice big network show, but, like, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's from a producer of Grey's Anatomy.
And lots of references to her boobs, too.
Yeah, she's, like, half undressed in the trailer. And she says, oh, well, didn't you see the paparazzi pictures from that nude beach? And they're like, oh.
And then
she's like the former first daughter, so she's, like, kind of a... celebrity-ish.
She tells someone that she'll let them touch her boobs if they do something or other. And she's got a titty window dress in another scene.
Yeah.
I do like Hayley Atwell.
Yeah, I think I would be more likely to give Conviction a go than I would Good Behaviour. Good Behaviour looks a bit shitty.
I love Hayley Atwell, but I don't think I could watch it. It didn't appeal to me at all. And that guy, the dark haired, like, just really American looking...
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
politician guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't watch that guy. Like, I can't think of anything worse than watching that guy.
He might get killed before the end of the first
season.
Who
is that guy? I don't even know who that
Generic
guy
man!
Yeah. He looks like he's just rolled in from, like...
It looks like they made him in a character creation scene.
Yeah, he looks like a politician from a Sharknado movie. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's fucked. So, no thanks. Love you, Hayley Atwell, but go and do some wonderful British thing instead. Don't lose your charm. Like, don't become just these two wonderful creatures becoming loud, obnoxious, nasal
put
things.
In a cage.
Yeah, for a quick buck. God, what if they better not do that to Daisy Ridley. I'm furious. Probably will.
She's probably worth too much now for them to get her on a network TV show.
Well, yeah, for now.
For now, once the next couple of movies come out, and then she's out of work, and she's like, what do you want me to do? Anything, I'll do anything.
Interesting time for her. She's going to have to make some really smart choices in the next...
Invest. And put her lots of money in smart investments.
I made smart work choices, but yeah, why not a bit of financial planning as well? Look, she'll always have merchandising royalties. That's the only thing you needed to set up.
Yeah.
People will be buying every character from Star Wars forever. So, there you go. All right. I think that's the episode. We can go and eat a whole tub of ice cream now to continue to mourn. Hiddleswift. The end of the affair. Yeah. I really thought they were going to make it.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a Hiddle baby.
I know. You can imagine. God, a Hiddle baby.
Little Hiddle baby. Little Hiddle bub. No.
So sad. How sad.
Well,
And apparently, because we were sort of speculating that this was all because he wanted to get James Bond, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And the rumours are, because there's been some talk of, who they want to cast and stuff like that, and apparently the rumours are that they want absolutely nothing to do with him now. Because of just this whole crazy circus that's been going on. They're like, we don't want that attached to us. Though also apparently they've been offering Daniel Craig an insane amount of money just to stay.
I'm surprised he's not. Well, how many has he done? 4.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know I wonder what his contract was. I thought he was contracted for one more.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea, but the rumours are they're throwing a lot of money at him so that they don't have to worry about putting someone new on.
That's gonna be frustrating because that I bet you all that bullshit was because of just Sony, just Sony being Sony rather than because Sam Mendes knows what he's doing and like Spectre had no script. It was a piece of shit, but he it was well presented because Mendes can make a film. But Sony knew they didn't have a film. They rushed something out just to have it out there. But what a mess. Oh, well, I'm sure they'll figure it out. Maybe
I'm sure the James Bond franchise will soldier on, yes.
Everybody relax. Even if it's Tory spelling, it's going to happen. Because that's the thing. I think that's only fair. If they're going to take, Dockery and Atwell and make them all American, they're going to have to make Tory spelling Bond to balance it all out.
Have you seen the posters for the gender-swapped fan casting of James Bond?
No, who was it?
Gillian Anderson. She looked great.
She's American. You can't have an American Bond.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're saying that we'll have an American and make her...
Yeah, but that's a very specific scenario that I'm talking about in light of these 2 trailers we were...
She can, but if they're going to change the gender...
No.
What does it matter to change anything else? She can do the accent.
No. The American will never be Bond. Not on my watch. If we do, I will shut down this show.
Okay.
I'll shut it all down.
Is she definitely American?
No, I don't know.
I have a feeling that she might be British. Can we Google this quickly so that we don't have any bad facts, any more bad facts on the show?
Get called racist again by a certain young man who was only joking, but still. You gotta, if I'm Googling, you gotta talk.
Okay. Well, no, I don't want to. It's been
talk.
No, I don't want to. Just look up faster. What? Stop looking at pictures.
She was born in Chicago.
Okay.
But she lives in London.
Okay, alright.
And it's describing her as an American British.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fucking confusing, isn't it?
It's not enough. Look, if you're gonna gender swap, Michelle Dockery.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Done. Solved it. Or or Maggie Smith.
Well, yeah. Well, obviously Maggie Smith. Imagine Edith and James Bond, and she would just cry all the time. She'd have her Bond man, and he'd leave, and then she wouldn't get any of the bad guys because she'd just be so fucking upset.
What about
and blaming her sister?
Michelle Dockery as Bond,
yeah,
and Maggie Smith as the villain.
Yeah,
called Walleye. And that's the name of the film. Walleye.
And there'd be 2 alternate sets of posters, and one would have the eyes going that way, one would have the eyes going the other way. And when they do the silhouette shoot thing, it kind of misfires and goes off to the side. Yeah, cool. And
it's in 3D, but it's
it's a little bit off.
It's not quite right. And it's meant to be that way. Perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for listening. Book was better, still on hiatus because the next Jack Kirby, King of Comics. You can go to our Facebook page and tell us what you think of stuff. Tell us where we were wrong. Tell us why we're bad people, etc., etc. Obviously, it's affected us greatly. And go to fruitlesspursuits.com and you'll find everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just completely lost it for a little bit there. You know, that point when you're just like, oh, I should really just, what am I saying? I should go back and just stop this and re-record it. But then you think, no, you know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, just push on. We don't know what we're doing next week. You are very much resisting going to see Spin Out, so we'll probably have to put something else in next week.
Well, look. How about we turn it over to the listeners?
Okay.
Because this is my issue with Spin Out. If we think about it, one, like, okay, it's kind of a joke film for us. And that is...
We will probably have fun with it, but we don't know if you will have fun with it, listener.
But that is time and money.
Yes.
And we could always watch it later.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is our audience isn't going to see it. The Americans won't even ever be able to access it. The Australians aren't going to see it. So is the humour of us bragging on it going to be like, have we already gotten enough of that out of the trailer? Like, are we going to get even more of that out of the thing? Or have we really seen what we've needed to see? Because most trailers, it is the film in short version. So I don't know.
Well, if the people want us to see it, we will see it. Otherwise, people can suggest movies that perhaps they would like us to talk about.
And I do have other things that I could talk about as well. You know, I'm not sure what else is coming out, but I have seen quite a bit recently, and I've got some, like, interesting little gems to talk about that you may not have seen or heard of, and you might want to check out. So we'll definitely have stuff.
Oh, yeah, we'll have something.
Yeah. All right, well, relax. It's okay. Fun. Don't panic. It's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's a good baby.
It's a perfectly good baby.
Perfectly fine baby. I know, like, fuck, wait 9 months for another one. Jesus. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, beat that way, everybody.
See you then.
Okay. Bye. Fuck.